Hi, my name is Heidi Anderson, and today for Unit 6, I will be talking about George Gershwin's original version of Summertime, as well as Sidney Beckett's version of the song. In both pieces, many elements of music are similar, but yet not at the same time. At the beginning of both pieces, I noticed the dynamics were similar and pretty consistent, but it did change at some points. There was a lot of differences that made each song unique to its own style. For example, the original piece sounds more formal and planned out, and through the entirety of the song. I would say the biggest difference, in my opinion, was the original piece had a main vocalist and the other rendition did not. The piece by Sidney Beckett's was more focused on the few instruments without any main vocalist. Through the rendition, I noticed that there was more of a change of dynamics throughout the consistency of the musical piece, which added more detail to me than the original because it wasn't planned out and instead it was more based on feeling the rhythm and sharing their emotions through the piece. Furthermore, the saxophone led in that piece and had a very soft sound and then became louder to build up to the climax in the piece in the rendition. By doing this, it gave listeners an interest to know what's going to happen in the story that these musical pieces created. However, I tended to think George Gershwin's piece was long and drawn out and very, very repetitive. Even though I enjoyed the first piece better, the second one did have parts that I loved, mainly because of the dynamics and the way they captured the emotions of the song. The main reason I didn't like the first piece was because it all started to sound the same, especially the woman singing. It was like she was singing the same thing over and over again. And another similarity is that the piece told their own story, which gave the listeners a unique experience. Furthermore, the melody did not change in both musical pieces, which made it consistent. The rhythm didn't change either, and also stayed consistent. But I would say the second piece, which was the rendition one, did change a little bit because it was more about the rhythm and feeling the rhythm, so it did change. I also loved how each piece had instrumentation, which added to the texture of music. However, like I was talking about, there was more texture in the rendition piece because the instruments were the main focus. In conclusion, it definitely was what I expected and more, and meets all the criteria of music, considering being organized, purposeful, and so much more that we talked about in class. Overall, I thought both of these music pieces were beautiful to listen to, and my favorite part of all was listening to the rendition by Sidney Beckett. Thank you, and I hope y'all have a great day.